ते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेष भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवतिर्नैष्ठकी. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, The Son of Drona Punished. Text 22. Arjuna Uvacha Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tam Eka Dayamananam Apavarga Asi Samsritehe. Arjuna Uvacha Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tam Eko Dayamananam Tam Eko Dayamananam Apavargosi Samsritehe Apavargosi Samsritehe. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tam Eko Dayamananam Apavargosi Samsritehe. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tam Eko Dayamananam Apavargosi Samsritehe. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tam Eko Dayamananam Apavargosi Samsritehe. Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Apavargosi Samsritehe. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tam Eko Dayamananam Samsritehe. Arjuna Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tvam eko dayyamananam Bhavargosi samsrite. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhakta Nama Bhayankara Amiko Dayamananam Apargosi Samsritehe. Arjuna Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Bhayankara Tvam eko dayyamananam Apavargosi samsritehe. Matajis, word to word meaning. Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna said, Krishna, O Lord Krishna, Krishna, O Lord Krishna, Mahabaho, He who is the Almighty, Bhaktanam, of the devotees, Abhayankara, eradicating the fears of, Tvam, you, Ekaha, alone, Dayyamananam, those who are suffering from, Apavargaha, the path of liberation, Asi, or Samsritehe, in the midst of material miseries. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Arjuna said, I will read. Arjuna said, O my Lord Krishna, you are the Almighty Personality of Godhead. There is no limit to your different energies. Therefore, only you are competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of your devotees. Everyone in the flames of material miseries can find the path of liberation in you only. Please repeat responsively. Arjuna said, O my Lord Sri Krishna, you are the Almighty Personality of Godhead. There is no limit to your different energies. Therefore, only you are competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of your devotees. Everyone in the flames of material miseries can find the path of liberation in you only. Purport by His Divine Grace. Arjuna was aware of the transcendental qualities of Lord Sri Krishna, and he had already experienced them during the Kurukshetra war, in which both of them were present. Therefore, Arjuna's version of Lord Krishna is authoritative. Krishna is Almighty, and he is especially the cause of fearlessness for the devotees. A devotee of the Lord is always fearless because of the protection given by the Lord. Material existence is something like a blazing fire in the forest, which can be extinguished by the mercy of Lord Sri Krishna. The spiritual master is the mercy representative of the Lord. Therefore, a person burning in the flames of material existence, may receive the rains of mercy of the Lord through the transparent medium of the self-realized spiritual master. The spiritual master, by his words, can penetrate into the heart of the suffering person and inject knowledge transcendental, which alone can extinguish the fire of material existence. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Sakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lingayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pastachade Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Sutta Goswami starts the narration of Srimad Bhagavatam from this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, wherein Sutta Goswami describes how the Mahabharata was almost over. Duryodhana back was broken and he is lying down. Almost end. So, Ashwatthama, he wanted to please his master Duryodhana, and he goes to the camp of Pandavas and he beheads the 5 children of Draupadi, thinking that will please Duryodhana. And he brings the 5 heads and says that, see, we may be almost defeated, but then I did something wonderful. And Duryodhana said, no, it is not wonderful. Because it is against the principle of warfare. There is principle based on which wars are fought, not just whimsically. You can't just do anything because you just want to do it. He said, no, this is children and they were not fighting. Why do you do that? He disapproved. Duryodhana disapproved. Even though he is going to die, he should have thought that, okay, something, at least opposite party was hurt like that. No, hurting is okay, but it has to be hurt on the principles of dharma. Yuddha dharma, the principles of warfare. So, after knowing that the 5 children were killed, how a mother would feel, Draupadi. She was, obviously, if one child is gone, you will feel. 5 children, all the 5 children gone. So she was crying incessantly, and Arjuna steps in and says that, yes, the Kshatriyas take vow. And those vows sometimes can be, very difficult to fulfill, but then once you take the vow, you just go and do it. The taking the vow gives the power, energy to actually achieve what you want to achieve. Inspiration. He said that, he will bring the head of the person who did this, Ashwatthama, and you can stand on that end and take bath. Oblations you'll have to give, you can do that. It's a very strong commitment to achieve that. An eye for an eye, you have beheaded, you will be done that. Kshatriya spirit. So, Arjuna was chasing Ashwatthama along with Krishna, and Ashwatthama is running out of fear, knowing that something is going to happen. And when his horses were tired, and he felt that there is nothing else can be done to save himself, so he releases Brahmastra, most powerful Brahmastra. Prabhupada calls it atomic weapon. Sometimes different political parties, they say that, I have my atomic weapon. Means, if anything goes, if everything is exhausted, I will throw on you. Final resort. So, Ashwatthama took shelter of the final resort, Brahmastra, and it was like glaring fire in all directions. And when Arjuna saw that, then he speaks this verse that we read. So when devotees, whenever they are in difficulty, they depend on Krishna. Obviously, Arjuna took Krishna with him. And he's saying, Krishna Krishna Mahabaho, Bhaktanam Abhayankar. SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple ki, SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple Lakshmanaman ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So, Arjuna takes shelter of Krishna and said, Krishna, you are the competent person in instilling the fearlessness, abhayam. Bhayam is fear, abhayam means no fear, fearlessness. So, Krishna actually is always considering how to protect his devotees. And the devotees also always depend on Krishna. A similar verse also appears calling Krishna for help when in Braj, Lord Krishna said that there is no need for doing yajna for Indra. Let us do yajna for, puja for Govardhan puja. And Indra had sent incessant rain, so much so that all Brajavasis, including cows, calves, they were all suffering. So, when Brajavasis wanted some shelter, again, they also called Krishna. Again, Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga, Tvam Natam Gokulam Prabhu, Trayum Hargashi Devanna, Kupitat Bhakta Vatsala. You are Bhakta Vatsala. Very, very affectionate to the devotees. So please do something to save all of us, cows, calves, to actually be saved from this incessant rain. It's like rain of devastation. So, Krishna is known as Bhakta Vatsala. Very, very affectionate to his devotees. So much so that protecting his devotees is the topmost priority for Krishna. Everything else is secondary. So, after these incidents happened, Ashwatthama was brought. There was a whole conversation we have discussed several times. Ashwatthama was not really killed, but he was insulted and driven away like an animal. Bhagavatam says. Then, after everything is over, Krishna is ready to depart to Dwaraka. Things are happening in Hastinapur, ready to go back to Dwaraka. And again, Ashwatthama is a real shameless villain. Already once you are insulted and driven away, again he shoots another Brahmastra. Now, previously he has killed the children who are already born. Now he has shot the Brahmastra to kill the child in the womb. More worse actually. He wanted to do a abortion on Uttara, who was carrying actually Parikshit Maharaj. And like devotees are always dependent on Krishna. When Uttara saw that Brahmastra is coming, so you'll have to know that Brahmastra, the arrows are not just going very in the slow motion. No? Sometimes you see things in slow motion, so that you have a lot of time to think. No, instantly actually. Brahmastra is coming. You have to decide what to do. Fatafat, immediately, Uttara. Pahi, pahi, mahayogin, protect me, protect me. Uttara immediately said, oh, my dear Lord, please protect me. I don't mind me being killed, but I have a child in the womb. Mothers, quality is that at any cost, try to protect the child. Not to speak of allowing the child to die in the womb, that is worse actually. So, Uttara actually prayed to Lord Krishna that, oh, this weapon is coming to kill the child in the womb. Please protect, because this child in the womb is the only offspring to carry forward the Kuru dynasty actually. Everybody else is dead and gone. Pandavas, one generation is over. Next generation, he is the only one left. So, when Pandavas saw that the Brahmastra is coming, they immediately wanted to counteract. And Krishna, see, these are all happening in just a moment. It's not happening in a very long time. Krishna immediately took his Sudarshan Chakra. Also wanted to counteract. Prabhupada writes in the purport that Krishna took a vow that he won't take any weapon during this Mahabharata. And even though Mahabharata is almost over, still in principle, Krishna has not returned back to Dwaraka. Still he is in Hastinapur. Technically he is not supposed to take weapon. But Krishna took his Sudarshan Chakra. So the immediate instant, everything is happening instantly. So, for Krishna, protecting his devotee is more important than his own vow, which Krishna demonstrated several times, and which any respectable gentleman would like to stick to. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Bhishma Dev was the commander-in-chief fighting, but nothing was happening. And Duryodhana said, it looks like, you are just not fighting to your full capacity. Pandavas are still there, what's happening? Maybe you are affectionate towards Pandavas than me, that's why you are doing like this. It's like, criticism for a warrior like Bhishma Dev, saying that, you are doing a drama, you are not really performing to the full extent. You are just to keep your words, you are fighting like fighting, it looks like you are not really fighting. It's like a big criticism. Bhishma Dev said, no, I am fighting, Baba, what to do, other side is so powerful. So, he said, you are telling like this, tomorrow, 5 Pandavas, finished. These are the 5 arrows, made of his austerity, tapasya, brahmacharya, all the strength, whatever he has got, he has put in these 5 arrows. Tomorrow, you see, he will be finished. Then Duryodhana said, very good, please give these 5 arrows to me. I will do the safekeeping. When you are ready to go tomorrow, I will give you, just go and finish. Nothing should go wrong. Chalo, give it to me. So, Duryodhana brought these arrows and Krishna knows it. Krishna is Sarvavyapi. He is making all strategies how to achieve his Yada Yada Hi Dharma Shaglanir Bhavati Bharata. He is in his own strategy. Then he tells Arjuna, ek kaam karna hai. You go to Duryodhana. And you remember, you people have saved Duryodhana from Gandharva, and he promised that you take any boon from me. Generally what, Kshatriyas, they say, you take the boon. Immediately you don't take. Wait for the right opportunity. When it is badly needed, that time. He said, no, wait, time aega to dekha. Krishna said, time has come. You have to go and ask that. Since you gave the boon, Yudhishthira Maharaj has asked me to bring this 5 arrows. This is the gift that you can give. Please give. So, Arjuna comes and he says, Duryodhana is wondering, how do you know these 5 arrows are with me? Don't ask this. You give these 5 arrows because you gave the boon. For a Kshatriya, you say that I will give and you don't give, it's akirti. What kind of Kshatriya you are? What kind of a gentleman you are? Gentleman. Any gentleman. Dega. You don't need agreement. Memorandum of understanding. No need in writing. Just words are sufficient. So Duryodhana, knowing well that these are the 5 arrows which can kill them, and his whole objective was to get rid of Pandavas. And this is what the opportunity is. And these 5 arrows are going to do. And Bhishma Dev said he is going to do it tomorrow. And this fellow is coming and asking, yes or no. Take it. He didn't want to break his vow. He didn't want to break his words. He didn't want to break his words. So, we can understand these personalities, whatever, their intentions are. But then, sticking to the principles are very important. That is what make you known as your personality is defined by what principles you are going to follow. Duryodhana didn't want to break his vow actually. He didn't want. Then, next day, Bhishma said, "Kidhar hai mera 5 arrow? Do abhi." Nahi hai mera. What is this? I said that this 5 arrows you took for safekeeping, you didn't keep it safely. He was keeping it safely. But what can I do? Arjuna came and took it like this. He explained. Then Bhishma Dev could understand Krishna's handwork. और कौन कर सकता है? But then he took a vow he is going to kill 5 people, and that vow is not going to be fulfilled, Then Bhishma Dev said, I will fight to such an extent that Krishna has to break his vow. I will fight to such an extent that, Arjuna will be in so much trouble that Krishna may have to break his vow. Let me show you this. Because I am not just playing around, I am doing my job. I am doing my job. So, what is the Krishna's vow? Krishna's vow is that in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, I will not take any weapon. When Arjuna and Duryodhana went to ask for help, he said that my army is there and I am there. But I am not going to take any weapon. And Arjuna happily accepted Krishna because, theek hai, be there. I want to be with you. That's more important than taking weapon. Because he knows that without taking weapon only he can achieve everything by taking weapon. So, Bhishma Dev was fighting so valiantly, he is supposed to be grandfather, elderly person. He is not like young man like Arjuna. But then Kshatriya, spirit, and the power of seeing so many battlefields, he was fighting so valiantly that Krishna has to actually break his vow. He didn't invoke his Sudarshan Chakra, by the way. He is fond of chakras. So he took the chakra of a chariot. Chariot chakra, what? How much power? So he took the chariot wheel and he was trying to attack Bhishma Dev. And Arjuna has to pass, hey, wait a minute, you are not supposed to take any weapon, what are you doing? Kaunteya pratijane hi name bhakta pranashyati. For Krishna, protecting devotee is the topmost priority. So, for that matter, if Krishna is also a Kshatriya, he also can keep his vow. He's a personality of Godhead, but for him, keeping the vow became not the primary criteria. It became maybe the last criteria actually. So, in the battlefield, we can see all these great personalities, when they were so much interested to keep their personal stature. Like, for example, Karna. He has a vow that anybody comes to ask for charity, he'll give. And Krishna sends Arjuna, please ask for, your kavacha. He was born with kavacha, born with kundala. Please ask for. So, even Surya Deva, he supposed to be the biological father, he said, no, don't give. Don't give. Karna said, no, I have decided certain principle in my life. I am not going to compromise that. For them, even the death is secondary. Even if that is going to make you die. Because as long as he was going to wear this kavacha, nobody can defeat him. And knowing well that if he gives the kavacha, he is going to be defeated, but then it is better to die than breaking my promise. That is akirti. Akirti maranat achirichati. Being, dishonored for a person who is supposed to be a very honorable position, it's worse than death. Let me die that way than dying by being dishonored. High standard. Gave it. Gave the kavacha. Even though Surya Deva, he didn't know that Surya Deva was biological, but he was a worshipper of Surya. He was worshipping Surya. And he kept this until the last breath. He was on the deathbed, Karna. And Arjuna was shooting the arrows. He was going back, his chariot got stuck. And he was trying to lift the chariot, and Krishna said, shoot him. Unarmed, hey, shoot him, Baba. Krishna sets the standard of warfare for Mahabharata. What Krishna sets is the standard, dharma. Shoot him. But he could not be killed. So much punya he has done, so much punya, whole lifetime punya. And the punya was protecting him actually. And Krishna said, kuch to karna padega. Krishna comes in the form of a Brahmana. And he comes, Brahmana is supposed to get charity. Brahmana is allowed to get charity. Kshatriya, that also somebody like Karna, who is known for charity, comes, he said, Hare, why you are coming now? I am going to die in the battlefield. What can I give? Hey, bahut hai tumhara paas. Please give. In charity, all the punyas that you have done, including the punya that you will get by giving this charity. नहीं तो ये पुण्य बढ़ जाएगा ना, सब उसको भी अंदर डालने का. He was not reluctant. He said, yes, at least I can give something. Otherwise I was wondering, maybe you came here, I will not be able to give you something, then what will happen to me? What will happen to my vow of giving in charity whenever somebody comes and asks? Suppose he had asked to give me some 10 cows. Where will bring the cows from in the battlefield actually? At least you ask me something which I can give. Wow. So, Krishna is known as Bhakta Vatsala because he is so affectionate to the child, to the devotee child, that at any cost he gives protection. He gives protection. It is actually there are so many people may claim they are Bhakta. Bhakta of this demigod, Bhakta of that demigod, Bhakta of that demigod. And the demigods also are giving protection, but they are not all called Bhakta Vatsala. In the discussion between Prachetas and Lord Shiva is known as Dharma Vatsala. Not only he is following the principles of Dharma, the devotees who are going to him, when they follow Dharma, he becomes very happy. Lord Shiva is known as Dharma Vatsala. So, this quality of Bhakta Vatsala was so much highlighted because that is the devotees, kind of wealth, happiness and shelter with which they know that Krishna is going to take care. Now whether he is taking care or not, you don't demand. But when time comes, he is going to take care. So the quality of Bhakta Vatsala, appreciation happens from the devotees and they go in ecstasy. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling in South India, he came across a Brahmana who was not very well educated. And he was trying to read Bhagavad-gita. He was reading Bhagavad-gita and he was crying. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, "Hare bhai, why you are crying?" Because these all classmates are inside and he is outside. Sometimes you are not performing well, "Hey, bahar jao class hai." Aisa ho gaya. Inside they were studying Gita with pronouncing it in a very perfect meter and trying to discuss and understand. This person is outside trying to read and he is crying. Others are not crying, by the way. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, "Hare, what is the matter?" He said, "When I try to read Gita, I am actually not well educated. I don't know how to read Gita. But when I see that Lord Krishna, even though he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he actually trying to do everything for his devotee. He is acting as a Bhakta Vatsala. When I try to, think about his quality of Bhakta Vatsala, I can't control myself." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "You understood Gita." Reading Gita means you understand. Not reading Gita means from back to back, I have read. Ho gaya Gita. The spirit of Gita. What is the mood? What should be the attitude? That is more important. This person was actually not reading Gita from the normal material standards. But then, his feeling was that the essence of Bhagavad-gita he has grasped. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "You understood Gita," and he embraced it. So, this quality of Bhakta Vatsala is something which is extraordinary for only Krishna, not for any other personalities. What to speak of his devotees? Somebody connected to the devotee also gets benefit. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was performing his pastime in Jagannath Puri, Sarabhama Bhattacharya, who was an impersonalist, became a great devotee. So he invited him for lunch. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went. And if you are inviting a very great person, you also make elaborate arrangement, He made a lot of preparations, Jagannath Mahaprasad, so much. And he was feeding him. And he had a son-in-law named Amogha. By nature, he was jealous, envious. And Sarvam Bhattacharya knew about it, so he kept him away. Idhar mat aana. Where Mahaprabhu is going to take prasad, he was not allowing. In fact, he was keeping a stick at the door so that he won't come. But in between, he was so ecstatic in serving Mahaprabhu. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, what is this? I can't eat this much. I am a sannyasi. No, what sannyasi? You are eating in temple, Jagannath temple so much. What's the thing? Govardhan Lila, you ate like this, so much. This is nothing. You eat. So he went inside to serve. Amoga comes and देखो sannyasi hai. 10 to 12 people can eat so much he is eating. What kind of sannyasi is this? For a material person, only material things are visible. Spiritual things are not visible. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, what is this nonsense? He started chasing him. Obviously he ran away. He said, I called you to serve and some offense is committed here. He was feeling so bad. He said, no problem. So he went. Then, next day, Amoga was affected with cholera and he was going to die. Heavy, high fever, 106, 107 degrees. News came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately went to Amoga and he said, oh Amoga, the heart is supposed to be the seat of the personality of Godhead. Why are you keeping dirty things there? If you are keeping the dirty things, how the Lord will come and sit? So he kept the hand on his chest and he removed all his jealousy, envy, all the bad qualities. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that in fact, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, even if my daughter becomes widow, no problem, let this fellow die. This fellow is unfit to be living actually, committing offense against the Supreme Personality of God. But Chaitanya said, no, forgiven. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what to speak of, Krishna is known as Bhakta Vatsala, affectionate to devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what to speak of my devotee? Anybody related to my devotees also, I am affectionate to them. Amoga is son-in-law. If he dies, Amoga's wife will be a widow. Then what? Is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, house she has to come back and he has to take care. So that trouble why to give? No. I made him a devotee already. Remove special process, immediate, instant removal of all the anarthas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, not only my devotee, anybody related to my devotee. What to speak of anybody related? Even a dog in the house of my devotees, I will be affectionate to them. Kutta. So, this is the limit of Bhakta Vatsala characteristic. Affection. Because the devotee has surrendered to him, given everything for him, then Krishna has to reciprocate. And this is what he does it. That is the reason Bhakta Thakur, he says that suppose I will have to be born again, somebody has to be born again. Let me be even born as an insect in the house of any devotee. Insect. Insignificant. If I had to be born as insignificant, instead of being born insignificant insect somewhere else, in the house of a devotee, because I have some connection to a devotee. And that connection can bring auspiciousness. So in this way, Lord Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. Vatsa actually means calf. And there are so many animals. Every animal actually is affectionate towards the offspring, calf. Mother is affectionate to the child. dog is affectionate to the puppy. Not that they are not, everybody is affectionate. But cow's affection to the calf is considered very, extraordinary, highest. Other day we were discussing how even if the calf is dead, even if the skin is preserved, still cow exhibits that affection. Gives the milk. Cow does it. So, this word Vatsala comes from this Vatsa. Exactly like a cow will have affection for the calf, like that Krishna has the affection for his devotees. We are like calf. Devotees are like calf, and Krishna is like cow. So like cow will have an affection for the calf, which is among every species the highest way of affection. So even among the affection between mother and child, the cow is taken, because that is the highest level of exhibiting the affection for the offspring. So from which also this Vatsalya Bhav also, mother, the parental love and exemplary thing is this Vatsa. So from there Vatsalya Bhav also comes. So this quality of Vatsalya Bhav that Krishna which appreciated, said that immediately that's why he is telling, my dear Lord, you are the person who can actually remove the bhaya, or you can instill the abhaya. Abhaya means fearlessness. Because everyone is fearful of something or the other. Every species of life fearful. A bird is trying to find the food, is fearful actually, whether somebody will attack or not. So, how can a person be fearless? Not worry about anything. This is only possible when you are in the supreme shelter of somebody. Your shelter is completely assured. If somebody has given you shelter that nobody can actually take it away, then you can be fearless actually. A child usually is fearless with the mother. Because when the mother, father is there, he knows that they will take care. He doesn't have to worry about how to take care of himself. It will be taken care, the best. The mother will give the best to give the protection, right? So, this the destroying the fear, that only Krishna can do effectively. Any other demigods also, they may give some level of fearlessness, but not complete fearlessness. Not possible. Kulashekar Alvar sings, saying that a long sloka, we will take only little bit of that. Bhava Bhaya Pradvamsana Ekausadam. One medicine of, one ausadam. He talks about several ausadas. One medicine of actually destroying the fearfulness, that is Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna ausadam. Krishna medicine of Krishna. Krishna medicine of the holy names. That can actually instill the fearlessness. Nothing else. Nothing else actually. And that fearlessness, Kulashekar Alvar says, perpetual, not that for only some time. It is perpetual fearlessness. It is from the very beginning till the end. Even if somebody is, in a condition of going to pass away, still, that fearlessness will be there. Bhishmadev, on the deathbed, Krishna personally came to give darshan. It's not necessary. He came, he is my devotee going to pass away. So until the last breath, he was only glorifying Krishna. Haridas Thakur was asked by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is your disease? He was not doing well. And my disease is I am not able to chant my rounds that I have taken vow. not 16 rounds. 3 lakh names, 192 rounds. When you are strong, you are able to do. You was weak, you are not able to do. I was not able. He said, no, Krishna is coming and telling, no, don't worry, take it easy. No, I have taken my vow. Krishna can break the vow, devotee should not. I am devotee of Krishna, I will follow Krishna. That you don't have to follow. Vow, initiation vow. So many vows we take, we are strict. But I have taken a vow, not able to follow. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally carries. He present there, giving darshan, taking the lotus feet, putting on his chest, and giving the very, very glorious departure. The Supreme Lord is standing in front of you, are leaving. What is that? And personally does, the entire ceremony, Antima Kriya. Lord. So, Satatam Abhaya. Satatam means perpetual. You don't have to worry that now I am fearless, after some time. No. If you are continuing your devotional service, if you are Satatam Kirtayantaman, then the Abhaya also is Satatam. So, there are so many persons who give Abhaya. Actually, in many temples, if you go, the deity will be standing, giving some blessings. Abhaya Mudra. This is actually called Abhaya Mudra. Demigods are giving Lord Shiva Abhaya Mudra, Kartikeya Abhaya Mudra, Ganesh Abhaya Mudra, Durga Abhaya Mudra. Even Buddha also is giving Abhaya Mudra. Buddha is also giving. So, these are all looking like all Abhaya Mudra. These are all lower category Abhaya. In Kanchipuram, there is Varadaraj, Devaraja Swami. I have taken so many darshans of Varadaraj, not noticed anything, After becoming a devotee, after several years I went to Kanchipuram for the first time, after becoming a devotee. I went to take darshan of Varadaraj, and when I saw Varadaraj's hand, something is written actually. Ramru Prabhu, something is written on Varadaraj's hand. It is written in Tamil. Actually, it is written in Tamil because of language problem. They don't want to write in Devanagari script, Tamil. Translate kar diya. Ma sucha. Don't worry, don't fear. When I saw, I have seen so many darshans. See, the perspective immediately changes when you are a devotee, I have never noticed it for so many darshans I have taken. I don't know how many darshans. The first darshan I saw, Masucha, don't worry, don't fear. And Krishna telling, you may have so many deities. No deity will be dare enough to put Masucha. Nobody can put that actually. In whole Tamil Nadu, whole South India, there are so many deities, No deity, Masucha, Varadaraj only bad. Don't worry, I am there to give everything. Why are you worrying actually? So, this Abhaya Mudra is the perfect Abhaya. It's nothing, anybody can give blessing. Like, so many, a beggar may be standing, somebody may give 1 rupee, somebody may 10 rupees, somebody 100 rupees. Somebody may think that 100 rupees is a bada aadmi kargi. Unko malum nahi hai. Maximum what can be given. And here, Krishna is giving himself. What can be better than that actually? So, in this way, Lord Krishna, that Abhayam, the removing the fear and giving the shelter is the best. Now, nobody can equal it actually. No other demigod, nobody in the entire creation. And interestingly, there is another deity called Bhakta Vatsala Perumal. Name itself is Bhakta Vatsala. It is near Chennai, Trinnindravu. So, one of the visit, I was visiting the temple, and in that deity's hand, Mamekam Saranam Vraja. Tamil. only surrender unto me. Because I am the Bhakta Vatsala, you come to me only, then Masucha, then you go to Kanchipuram, Masucha ho jayega. Don't have to fear. And interestingly, again, so many people may say that Saranam this, Saranam that and all. The real shelter can be at the Lord, no, at Krishna's lotus feet. Nothing else. Nothing else works. Everything else, they may be thinking that they have surrendered, but that surrender can be broken away at any point of time. Any point of time. So, here, Arjuna is also talking about apavarga. So, Krishna's shelter only can lead towards apavarga. Pavarga is material existence. Pa, pha, pa, bha, ma. I may not be able to pronounce perfectly, but you'll have to adjust. Tamil influence. So, working hard, parishrama, and foam in the mouth, and then disappointment, then bhaya, bhayam, fearfulness. That is always there. And then mrityu, fearful of death also. So these are all pavarga. So Prabhupada says, people who are suffering in the material existence, for them to actually go to the spiritual realm is very, very difficult because they are so absorbed. So apavarga is that which is needed to get out of this material suffering. And this apavarga, if you go to any other person, it will not be possible to achieve that. Only Lord Krishna can grant. In purport, Srila Prabhupada says, you can sacrifice anything, but you cannot sacrifice the spiritual life. Three varga, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. You want to sacrifice, you can sacrifice. But liberation, moksha, you cannot. Dharma, artha, kama is okay. But then, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and gives Panchama Purushartha, Krishna Prem, Panchama Purushartha. So even for devotee, general principle is that Trivarga can be sacrificed. Fourth one cannot be. For a devotee, even Mukti can be kept at the door. Whereas Krishna Prem, Bhakti, is to be considered as the ultimate goal in life. So, death is the greatest fear, mrityu. And to get out of that fear, a devotee, even if the death is coming, he doesn't have to be really fearful because he knows that things will be taken care. So, for a person to get out of the cycle of birth and death, he needs to only understand Krishna's Janma Karma. Janma Karma Chame Divyam Yevam Yo Veti Tattvata. Tektva Deham Punarjanma Naiti Mameti So Arjuna. So, understanding transcendental nature of Krishna's birth. Sri Krishna Janmashtami is coming very close and giving us an opportunity to discuss about the transcendental pastimes of the Lord and his very appearance which is completely transcendental and his activities which are transcendental. Sometimes when Krishna's all kinds of strategies, I will call it strategies, people will think, hey, why did Krishna is doing this? Why did Krishna tell that? Why did Krishna send Arjuna? Why did Krishna send Kunti to Karna to tell that you are his real mother? Oh, really? Don't fight. No, I can't do that. I took a vow. Then you do one thing. Don't shoot Nagastra second time. How anybody can even imagine what is not to be shot second time, People will criticize. Hey, why did Krishna do like this? Karma, Krishna's activity, transcendental, divyam. From the material eyes, if you see, it may look like he is interfering too much in Mahabharata. Intervening too much in Mahabharata. I say, छोड़ देना चाहिए जो होना है वो करके. नहीं, he is so much concerned that the outcome is dharma. For that he has to do something, and that is dharma. For that situation. Dharma. Otherwise it may not be. But Krishna, Janma Karma Chame Divyam Yevam. So to know it in truth, Veti Tattvataha. Knowing in truth is very difficult. You may read, you may not be able to know. So, Manushyanam Sagastreshu Kaschin Yatati Siddhaye Yatatam Api Siddhanam Kaschin Mam Veti Tattvataha. Out of thousands of people, some people may be interested in spirituality. Out of thousands of those people interested, only few may know me in truth. Again Krishna says, in truth, Veti Tattvataha. So, knowing Krishna in truth is so much given and bestowed by Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, everybody is reading so many things. They are not doing anything to Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada is so merciful that he has given this Bhagavad-gita as it is, to know, as it is. Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, so much so that he is giving us an opportunity to perform devotional service, so that we can be on the path of understanding Krishna in truth. At least aspire to be. At least we are on the path, other than all those who are thinking that they are doing something. And this is out of thousands of people who are aspiring. So in this way, we are getting the opportunity to perform devotional service under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, and we take his instructions as our vows, and we stick to our vows. Understand how Krishna can break the vows also, and we appreciate that and we stick to our vows. So in that way, we take Krishna's lotus feet as our shelter, and that can instill fearlessness in us. We don't have to be fearful. We do our duty and Krishna will take care. Even though he may not be appearing to be taking care, he is taking care, we don't know, that's all. So, with that, if we can perform our devotional service with complete surrender, we can be object of Krishna's affection. He may be affectionate to us, which we can see, or he may not see, he will be still affectionate, and we can at least be on the path of being Krishna's object of affection. Bhakta Vatsal. He is Bhakta Vatsala, he will definitely be affectionate to us, and in that way we perform our devotional service so that we can achieve the perfection of completely taking shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna. Shri Krishna Janmashtami Maha Mahotsav ki, Sri Sri Radha Ras Bihari ji ki. Any question or comments?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for nicely bringing out Bhakta Vatsala quality of Krishna. In this regard, Sri Vedanta Desika, he says that Vrindavana Charatam means he roams around all over Vrindavan for showing his Bhakta Vatsalyata by protecting all the Vrinda, means all the group of devotees in Vrindavan. So you are nicely brought out this aspect of cow being very affectionate. One thing I want to add, that a cow, as soon as the calf is born, she licks off all the contamination on her body. So in this regard, in this thing, she may die also, it seems.
Who will die?
Cow. Because she licks off all the contamination as soon as the calf is born. But she is so affectionate. She wants to clean up the cow. In the same way, that is why Krishna is known as Bhakta Vatsala. In the same way, when a devotee surrenders to Krishna, Krishna licks or cleans off all the sinful reactions of devotees. That is why he is known as Bhakta Vatsala. I have a question. Did Dronacharya commit a mistake by instructing Brahmastra to Ashwatthama?
We can't call it mistake, but then when he had definitely also affection for his son, his affection is all. What led? Dhritarashtra was affectionate towards Duryodhana. These are something very natural. So he had affection certainly, but Ashwatthama, he is not also an ordinary person, by the way, Chiranjeevi, and he had so much power. But teaching was not wrong, but then using was wrong. Teacher cannot be blamed for student's mistake. You came, you are qualified, a Brahmana, son of Brahmana, qualified. See, you may be qualified to accept something, and then later on you misuse it. What can be done? When the Brahmastra was to be taught, he was qualified. He accepted it. But then later on, due to bad association, so he degraded himself. Then he became a Brahma Bandhu. A Brahmana became Brahma Bandhu, degraded. So teaching was not wrong, but then usage was wrong. Hare Krishna.
So you mentioned that Krishna doesn't only protect his devotee, but his devotees' associates also. So why did he not protect the Abhimanyu and even these children of the Pandavas?
This is the pastime that has to wind up. There are so many things which is already, no scheme is set. Everybody has to go. Pandavas has to survive. Then only Parikshit has to be there. Parikshit has to come out. Bhagavatam has to come out. Scheme of things are already fixed. So it is not every single time, place and circumstances. Protecting doesn't always mean that physically he has to protect. Certain things can, like for example, you may even think that, why Parikshit was allowed to be bitten by the snake, His way of protection is not physical. Protection means spiritually he is taken care. That has to be there. So he allowed all these things to happen so that the scene is set for Bhagavatam to manifest. Because Kali Yuga is coming, Bhagavatam has to come. So it has to come through Sukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. Scheme is already set. So to make that scheme of things to happen, other things are allowed to happen. Okay, where is Mike?
Yes.
Oh.
हरे कृष्ण। जब पांडव लोगों को पता चला कि कल वे युद्ध में पांडवों का वध करेंगे, ऐसी प्रतिज्ञा की है, तो उन्होंने कृष्ण से पूछा अब क्या होगा। कृष्ण बोले अब कुछ होगा नहीं, आप लोग उनके हाथों से मारे जाओगे। एक उपाय है, दूसरे दिन ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में जब भीष्म अपने ध्यान में थे, तब कृष्ण द्रौपदी को लेकर उनके शिविर में पहुँचे और द्रौपदी ने पितामह के चरणों का स्पर्श किया। उन्होंने दिया आशीर्वाद, सौभाग्यवती भव। तो भीष्म बोले प्रभु मेरी प्रतिज्ञा तोड़वा दिए है, अब मैं भी आपकी प्रतिज्ञा तोड़कर ही रहूँगा। ऐसे हुआ, पांडव बच गए। प्रभु ने अपनी प्रतिज्ञा तोड़कर भी अपने भक्तों की रक्षा की है। वे भक्त वत्सल है। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for reciting so many pastimes regarding how Krishna is Bhakta Vatsal. My question is like this, Duryodhana and Karna, it seems they are following the general code of conduct and moral principles. So we also know like demons, they sometimes follow this moral principle, whereas Krishna is even inspiring devotees to break this moral principle, like telling Yudhishthira Maharaj to lie and how Karna was killed. So like how to understand demons, they are following these moral principles and devotees are not sometime.
Devotees under the instruction of Krishna not following is okay. Not otherwise. We don't decide ourselves to not follow. But then Krishna is setting the standard of higher principle. Parodharma. So the moral principles are there. There is a saying that you take a thorn out of a thorn. So a thorn is there, you have to remove that, you can use a thorn. So to establish dharma, Krishna may use sometimes an exception. That is only for that particular situation. So under the guidance of Krishna, if one is doing, then there is no problem. But then we cannot on our own make an exception and say that devotees don't follow dharma, so I am just going to left and right to break it. No, that is not allowed. So yes, general code of principles are to be followed, but exceptional cases under the authority of the pure devotee of the Lord or the Lord himself, the exceptions can be applied, and that exception is dharma for that situation. For that situation. Dharmattu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Dharma means know that which is given by God, and God comes personally and gives something, that is dharma for that situation. And that may be contradicting something else, but that contradiction is apparent external contradiction. Really there is no contradiction, because savai pumsam paro dharmo yador bhakti radochade. There is always a dharma, there is always paradharma. So here paradharma applies. That is why devotees who are following the instruction of Krishna, when they do certain things which may be not dharma, and that situation, that is dharma. Okay, you pass it on to that Mataji in the back. She is raising her hand.
Hi Krishna, I want to ask, how come when Duryodhan wanted to win Hastinapur, he employed means of cheating, but when Ashwathama killed Draupadi's sons, he was not in support of that?
What is the first one you said?
When Duryodhan wanted to win Hastinapur, that time he employed means of cheating.
Okay.
But when Ashwathama killed Draupadi's sons and did not follow rules of war, that time he was not supportive.
See, there are different sets of rules. Kshatriyas can gamble. Kshatriyas can gamble. And Kshatriyas can gamble by pledging also. So, but they took that to the extreme limit. And apparently, at least apparently they were following, in the sense that playing. But Shakuni was there to twist the game. That was like a hidden agenda behind. So even though it was not the best way to acquire kingdom, and Duryodhana definitely used some kind of, malpractice to achieve his goal. So, whereas here, it is externally also wrong. There it is externally not wrong, but in principle it is wrong. So, in this case, Yuddha Dharma, yes, there are certain principles, so you can't break it externally. So, he was not happy that Ashwathama broke it externally. But by means of some manipulation, if it was broken, it's okay. But then, it is just known to everybody that this is not correct. Whereas, there, the whole gambling match, from one point of view you can say that okay, another point of view you can say it is not okay. So, it depends upon, it's subject to interpretation. But certainly, he did some kind of manipulation there. But here it is external, that is why he didn't approve. He himself did not approve. Mike, where is Mike?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Regarding, you quoted these two examples of Karna and Duryodhana, was what Hayagriva Prabhu was asking. So were they following these principles, whatever the vows they have given, out of fear of consequences, or is it just because they are kind of, Duryodhana especially, doing all the mischievous activities, at the same time in one side he does such kind of following the principles. So are they doing out of consequence of fear consequence?
No, this is this is their way of life. Principles are to be followed. This is the nature, everybody does it. A Kshatriya, see in the beginning when you are taught, suppose for example you are taught that stealing is not good, stealing is not good. So it is in your way of life, stealing is not good, and so you follow that somewhere. It is not out of fear, it became your nature actually, second nature. No, I am not going to steal because, I have heard so many times stealing is not good, so I am following it, so I am just doing it. Like that for a Kshatriya, if the dharma is ingrained in their blood, that is what they want to follow, they follow. The problem is that he was the eldest son of the eldest son Dhritarashtra. He was not able to get the kingdom because the Dhritarashtra was blind. and then it got transferred here. So it's a very complex situation of family affair actually. So he had that, if Dhritarashtra was not blind, he would have become emperor actually. So what is my mistake? So he is burning inside actually. वो अंधा था, उनको उसका वजह से मेरे को नहीं मिल रहा है. So he made all these things, all manipulations happen. So yes, he could have been more generous in heart, but he was not. But then when it comes to Yuddha Dharma, following principles, he did. He did.
So I would like to know what is the connection that Krishna being a Bhakta Vatsalata and quoting these two examples of Duryodhana and Karna.
Because Krishna, these people, even ordinary people are so sticking to the vows, and Krishna is not sticking to his vow, even though he is also Kshatriya, he is nothing less. These people are so interested in following their vows. Krishna is breaking his vow to protect his devotee because he is affectionate towards his devotee. Because of the affection towards his devotee, he is breaking. Otherwise, he will not also break. You think that Krishna will break any promise if it was not for protecting his devotees? No. Because devotee protection comes, Bhakta Vatsala quality comes, he said that this is more important to me than this.
Thank you, Prabhu. This makes more clear. Another question. Generally, Shiva is known as Ashutosh. You mentioned Shiva as a Dharma Vatsala. Would you like to please elaborate a little bit on, yes, he is being Dharma Vatsala, not being Bhakta Vatsala?
No, he is also benedicting his devotee. But then that is not considered Bhakta Vatsala because that is only reserved for Krishna. Because they are not real Bhaktas anyway. You may call, I am a student, doesn't mean actually, like Arjuna. Arjuna is also a student, not like that. So, you can at the best call that they are servants of such and such a demigod. So, he is also giving benediction. But that cannot be to the level that Krishna can give. Krishna can give. And he can instill the fearlessness. That is not possible. Demons get the benefit and they are fearful when it will be taken away. So, this Abhayam, Sharanagati, and Bhakta Vatsala, these are all for Krishna and his devotees. Even though others may try to imitate, I am also surrendered to my demigod, that surrender is just a tiny little surrender only. It's nothing to do with, nothing compared to surrender to Krishna.
Please, can you please elaborate how is a Dharma Vatsala?
No, that it is discussed there, saying that Prabhupada writes that he follows his Dharma. Right? Anybody criticizes also, Hare, why are you in crematorium, this, that and all, he simply follows. And his devotees, many of the time demons, they don't follow Dharma, he is not happy with them, gives some benedict and drives them away. And there are also devotees who follow Dharma. Not that everybody is like that. Dharma. So he becomes very affectionate towards those who follow Dharma, that's why he is known as Dharma Vatsala. Those who are dharmic, those who are following Dharma. Don't think all devotees of Lord Shiva are demons and ghosts and all. No, he has got varieties of, varieties of devotees. He has got varieties of his devotees. And obviously in the crematorium and all he has got ghosts. But there are also some who are in the mode of goodness also. So those devotees, he become more affectionate.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
ग्रंथराय श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्री कृष्ण जन्माष्टमी महामहोत्सव की, श्री श्री राधा रास बिहारी जी की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे.
His Grace Mukund Madhav Prabhu ji ki jai.